Mr. Sams, what are you doing?
What do you mean?
You sound like you're sick.
No, it's my parrot imitation.
A parrot.
Yeah, Polly want a cracker.
Poly. Oh, I get it. Poly.
Yeah.
Oh, like polyatomic ions. It's not the same thing. We're talking about polyatomic ions,
want a cracker.
not Polly wanting a cracker.
Polly want some coffee.
All right, let's move on. You're hurting my inner cells. Okay, today.
Show me the money.
We're going to talk about ionic charges and polyatomic ions. Hey, what's an ion, Mr. Sams?
Nothing. What's an ion with you? Or no, that's not right. Ion's something with a charge.
Hey, it's something with a charge. Something.
Yeah, usually we talk about an atom or group of atoms with a charge, more specifically.
Yeah, so we should actually say a group of atoms only?
Yeah, or it could just be an individual atom.
Or just one atom, or one atom. So today we want to learn about those things.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Now, on the periodic table, we can look if I have an individual atom with a charge.
Yeah.
We can kind of work it. So everybody I want you to do is pause the video, and as you pause the video, I want you to get your periodic table out. So you're going to write on your periodic table.
Go get it.
Go get it. Okay, you got it back?
All right, good.
All right, so in the first column, I want everybody to write plus
1.
That's pretty easy. 1.
Yep.
For column 1?
Column 1.
That seems to make sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, then plus 2.
Plus 2, okay,
Yep.
good. And what are you going to do with these middle areas?
And we're just going to ignore them.
Skip them. Don't write
Yeah.
skip, but skip them. Okay, over here,
Plus 3.
plus 3.
We're not going to put anything in that one.
Leave this one blank.
Yep, minus 3.
Oh, it's not plus 4.
No,
or
minus
5.
No,
Okay.
minus 2.
Yeah, minus 2.
Minus 1.
Minus 1.
And 0.
0.
Okay.
And these are going to be the charges. So if I were to
Yeah.
say a question like, what is the charge of F right here?
Yeah, that's minus 1.
You'd say F.
Yeah. Now there are exceptions sometimes, but by and large, this is what you're going with.
And actually, technically, it's F1 negative. Or if I were to do P, what would be his charge?
Minus 3 or 3
P,
minus.
3 minus. And then Mg over here, what would
Plus
I do here?
2 or 2
Mg,
plus.
2 positive. And then how about RB right here?
It's plus 1 or 1 plus or just plus.
Oh yeah, actually, if it's just got a positive charge, so like for example, cesium, you can say Cs positive.
Plus. Or
Or if I were to do iodine right here, it'd be I
minus
negative.
for iodide.
Iodide, actually, is
Yep.
what it's called. Okay?
All right.
Good. All right, that's not too hard, is it?
Okay. Now one other thing you should be aware of is things with positive charge, we call them cations.
Yeah.
And things with negative charge, we call them anions.
So write that down. Cations.
Yeah, it looks like cation, but it's cation.
Cations always have a positive charge.
Yep. And then anions.
And anions are a negative charge. Now, do you know why negative charge? Why did I put the positive word over here, Mr. Sams?
Well, the things on the left side of the little staircase there tend to be positive,
Yeah, these guys are the positive area.
and the things on the right side of the staircase tend to be negative.
There you go. But don't write that on your periodic table. All right, but there's also polyions.
There are. Poly meaning...
Poly means many.
Yes.
So like if you are, I'm trying to think of a word with poly in it.
Polygon has
What's a polygon?
many sides, many angles.
Polygon.
Polynesia, a group of a whole bunch of islands in
Okay.
the Pacific.
Polygamy?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, that's
Polygamy.
when
You
you
got
have
more than
lots
one
of
wife.
spouses,
Or
yes.
could it be more than one husband?
I don't know.
Either.
I don't know.
Yeah, poly means more than one.
Yep.
So a group of atoms with a charge is a polyatomic ion.
No.
Sometimes we just call them a polyion. There you go.
I want an ion.
Polyion ion. Hey, and here is a list of polyions. It's a long list.
Yeah.
And this is actually the list of ones that have a 1 negative charge.
Yep, and we want you to know some of these. So
the
let's
ones
see.
we want you to know are
Acetate for sure.
Now, how do you memorize acetate?
I remember you said something about being a football player.
You ever played football, Mr.
No,
Sims?
no, I am not much of an athlete.
Here, you got to be in the
All right,
huddle.
all right.
I haven't played football yet, but I
No?
got this made up.
Okay.
Say Cho.
Joe. 32.
Negative.
Negative.
Cho, 232 negative. So
Got it.
It's hard to memorize that, but if you say Cho, 232 negative. Do you see how that kind of like...
Yeah.
Acetate.
I got it.
And here's nitrate.
Okay.
Nitrite.
Yep, learn those.
Cyanide.
Yep, that one.
Hydroxide.
Yep.
And then we want you to learn these right here.
Yeah, but the nice thing about those that he's showing you there, you just really have to learn chlorate.
Well, there's a pattern, and we'll talk about the pattern in a little bit.
Yep.
Okay, and so the rest of these?
Nah, not so much.
So the ones you need to know, I'm going to underline just to make sure.
Okay.
This one,
And then...
this one, this
yep.
one, this one, and then these at the top.
Yep.
So those are the ones you need to memorize.
Yep.
And that's it for
Yep.
the negative ones.
Just gotta know
Now
'em.
we're about to do the negative 2 ones. Now, the negative 2 charges, which ones do we need to do, Mr. Sams?
Definitely sulfate.
Sulfate.
Sulfite.
Sulfite.
Carbonate.
And carbonate. I think
probably
that's
it.
kind of
Yeah.
it, isn't it? Okay. How about we move on to the minus 3 charges, and guess what?
Let's do phosphate and phosphite.
Well, let's do them both,
do you
phosphate
say?
and phosphite.
Yeah.
Okay. And then lastly, there's the ones with the positive 1 charge.
Yep, know them both.
Hydronium and ammonium. So just know them both.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. That wasn't too bad. Hey, there's kind of a rule set.
Yeah.
And on this set of rules, what I want you guys to do is essentially copy it down.
Yeah.
Okay, so pause the video, copy this down,
Yep.
and then we'll do some examples on the next slide.
Yep.
Okay, we're
All right.
back.
So, when I'm looking at the chlorate, hypochlorite, all this, I memorize chlorate. That's it.
So you only memorize, ladies and gentlemen, the one that ends in ATE. So the one that ends in ATE is the one that you want to memorize.
Yep.
And then the ones that ends in ITE, IT sounds like light.
Yep.
All right, so light means he's
It's
light.
It's chlorate light.
It's chlorate light. What's the difference between chlorate and chlorite?
It has one less oxygen.
Just one less oxygen.
Yep.
The ites always have one less oxygen than the ates.
Yep.
Okay, and hypoite. Now, if you're like a hypo, what is hypo?
Hypo means less.
Yeah, hypo means less. Like you got less. Like if you're hypothermic, that means you've got less
Less
heat.
temperature, yeah.
Less
Or
temperature.
If you're hypoxic, you have less oxygen than you need.
So this is one less oxygen. It's still, he's ite, so he's light, and he's not even ite. He's like
He's
less
ite light.
Less ite. He's light, and so he loses 2 oxygens. And then if it says per, at the front,
that's like hyper.
hyper, so that means you're like
More than, yeah.
more than. So he gets 1 more oxygen than does the 8. So if you just memorize the 8, you're good.
Yep,
So let's
build
do
everything else from there.
another example. How about
Yeah.
that?
Well, let's go sulfate.
Sulfate.
Yeah.
Okay, sulfate. Now you can just memorize sulfate.
Yeah.
Now you don't probably have it memorized yet, but that's SO4 -2.
So its friend sulfite is going to have.
So sulfite,
Sulfite is light.
light, so he's going to have 1 less
Oxygen.
oxygen, so SO3. Now the charge never changes when you do this. It always has a -2 charge. Or in the example that we did on the on here, this one always has a -1 charge, -1. The charge doesn't change. The only thing that changes is the number of oxygens. Another example would be nitrate is NO3 -1. That's nitrate. And then his buddy would be nitrite. Now everybody take a second before we tell you the answer. What is the formula of nitrite? That's right,
It's nitrate light.
Nitrate light. So NO2, lose 1 O, -1. I think you get, it's a pattern, so you don't actually have to memorize. You go back to that list that we had earlier, and you go, oh my gosh, there's so many things to memorize.
Nah, just learn the 8s.
But if you learn the 8s, like here's the sulfate and the sulfite, okay, just learn sulfate and you're good.
Yeah.
Now, some people like to think that the 8 has always the same number of oxygens.
No.
And that's just not the
It just
case.
depends. Like sulfate has 4 oxygens, whereas nitrate has 3 oxygens, chlorate has 3 oxygens,
Actually,
phosphate has
what
4
they've
oxygens.
done, the scientists have taken the most common one
Yeah.
and called it the 8.
8.
So,
That was
anyways,
kind of a silly thing to do, but they did it.
they ate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
They ate it.
Did they eat it? Okay.
Are we done?
I believe we're done. Pretty
Cool.
short podcast.
Yeah,
Okay.
the end.
Bye.